Well, how about this too? The CIA, one of their duties is to overthrow foreign governments, to replace them with people who are in our favor.
Yeah.
They never had the thought to do it to our own government.
I know, right?
We draw the line there.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Welcome back to Careful Boys. Today we are talking about our favorite. I'm talking about top flight, top shelf, #1 conspiracy theories.
Right now, okay.
The good
I don't know if it's considered conspiracy.
Has to be your favorite one, he said.
But my favorite one right now is the Anunnaki, the history of the Anunnakis.
What is that?
So, the Anunnakis, according to Sumerian, which is the oldest known civilization to have like first written language, religion, and all that, right? They have a origin history of humanity. And the Anunnakis are the gods from the skies, which could be aliens. And they had another race another alien race that they basically brought with them. And their contract was to work for the Anunnakis. And so when they were working and they were like mining gold and their contract was supposed to be only for like 100 years, but they overworked them to like 200 something. And then they had an uprising. And then they're like, yo, man, we don't want to do this. We want to go
Reminds me of
back
my old
home.
boss.
And then they're like, I want to go home. And then the Anunnaki was like, all right, hold up. All right, sorry. Well, I think we know what to do. And then they made humans to be the slave race.
Oh.
And then so,
Why didn't they just make humans to begin with?
yeah.
There's some holes. There's some holes in the theory.
Tiny holes though. Tiny holes.
Maybe these guys worked for them in the
Maybe they didn't have the tech yet.
it was fine, or maybe they never needed to because they were obedient, you know. But 200 years later, they couldn't take it no more or whatever. But yeah, and then that's the origin story of humanity, and how humans came to be.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then like we also have a worship gene that's like inside of us, so that we are dependent on these gods, and we feel good to like worship them. Yeah.
It does make you feel good when I...
To worship and have spiritual.
When I watch TMZ, I'm like, oh man, I fucking love celebrities. I can't help it. I can't help it.
That's my favorite shit right
That's
now.
good shit. Anunnaki shit's always interesting.
It's so good.
So we're basically put here to mine gold for these cats.
Yeah.
Why is gold valuable to them?
Because their home planet, Nibiru, it's the 12th planet.
The fuck? Is this Japanese?
Good shit.
This is all Japanese?
No, it's not Nibiru.
Are they in the Milky Way galaxy or no?
Yeah, but there's like another planet that is in our orbit, but they're so...
Oh, in our solar system.
Yeah, in our solar system, but it's not coming through yet because it's not like detectable, but they're saying that it will come back. And it only comes back like every 40,000 years or something.
God damn.
This is some of the stuff that that guy Ben Carson be talking about, right?
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of... It's called the ancient astronaut theory, and like they say all over the world, you know how we have all these pyramids and all these like crazy structures? They're like, originally there were aliens here that colonized all that, and then they genetically modified the ape people here to become humans. That's the theory behind it.
I heard that there's no way we could have built the Luxor with current technology.
Especially with that light in the middle. Like, who's
It's actually physically
And
impossible.
that elevator that goes diagonal, that's pretty crazy.
Why is there?
There's only one.
I also heard that no one can figure out how to get that cigarette stain smell out of that.
Yeah.
It's just a part of
It's
it.
just there.
The carpet came with that.
I also heard that nobody ever smoked cigarettes in there.
But it just came with it.
Urban myth. It's mystery.
It's like incense for the gods.
Should we try the Luxor buffet?
Do they even have one?
I don't know if they
They
have.
did? I think they did. I don't know if they still do.
I hope they don't.
You know what's funny?
I hope they don't.
How did these, the best, they used to be the best, become the laughing stock? Like, when you stayed at the Luxor, that was like, whoa, you're at the Luxor? Like,
saw this rating
Circus too.
I saw this rating of casinos. They rate Bellagio as tier 2 now. Did you know that? And the Venetian.
Dude, that's the thing. If you don't have a good ownership group sometimes,
I think just over like decades, it just Because with like Fountain
outdated.
Blue and Resorts World, I think they just all get. I'm like,
Believe it or not, the Rio was considered tight when it came out.
the Rio.
It
Yeah,
had the
and
best.
now everyone's like, that's
seafood
the
buffet.
toilet of Vegas.
Yeah, now they're gonna tear it down.
Right.
It used to have the best seafood buffet. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, the Anunnaki, or like that whole thing, man, I've been just deep diving for the past couple of years, and it's still my favorite one.
Dude,
because there's still new shit coming out. Yeah, for sure.
And it's very, it pertains to us a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, where did we come from? What is the meaning of all this?
Because the other conspiracies, I don't think there's new development or new takes, or like.
It's mostly UFO related, and it's mostly, like you said, there's been a huge stonewall on this in the last 6 months, where they basically said all the UFO stuff that we were just recently talking about, they grinded all those disclosures to a halt, and now we're hearing a bunch of bullshit about it.
The one I'm the most curious about is the JFK one. Like, why how come Obama, when he became president, and it was supposed to all come to light, and then he was like, what did he do? Like, fucking close it for another 50 years? Or
Nah,
some
even Trump just recently said, he's like, yeah, you wouldn't. He's like, when they told me about letting all that information out, I said maybe not good, maybe not so good, maybe not so good. That's what he said.
So he's not gonna open it up?
He says he will now because he wants to get elected again. But
Please, I want to know what the
But
fuck.
when he gets in there, you think he was gonna do it?
no, because he was just in there and he did the same shit.
Well,
He released some stuff, but it wasn't the good stuff.
I felt pretty, I guess, closure or like relief after listening to what RFK said.
What did he say?
He said it was involved by the CIA. He was 100%. It was the CIA.
He said he could prove it in court of law.
Yeah.
But that's like the leading theory anyway, right?
So that's the part that makes me even more curious, because now it feels like CIA is like this own rogue group. So who's calling the shots of CIA? Like, who is the actual person?
The director of the CIA, Bart.
No,
Obviously.
The VP.
Hey, guess who the director was at the time?
Who?
Or one of the guys?
Which one?
George Bush Sr.
Oh yeah, before he was vice president. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would like to know, like, then who really ordered that hit?
I don't think he was VP when Kennedy was killed, though. Or I'm sorry, CIA director when Kennedy was killed. But he was later.
Oh.
But there's a rumor. Well, this is why I know this, because there's a rumor that George W. Bush was in Dallas at the time of the assassination.
But he was a part of that crowd, though.
He was.
Yeah,
he was in.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
in. But he was, I don't think he's director of CIA either.
Apparently, it was like a lot of different groups were mad at JFK, right? The mafia was mad at him because he backstabbed the whole organized crime people that helped him got elected. The unions and everybody. He needed mafia power to get there, and his brother, the RFK's father, he basically turned on the mafia and actually like started taking them down like crazy when he was the director of the FBI. And then so that's where I was like, he had a lot of enemies, which probably made everyone go, oh, I don't know. And he was doing a lot of like things that were more controversial. He was more like pro-civil rights and all this stuff. So there's like a lot of, they'd say it was the KKK. They said there was so many groups that didn't like him.
Yeah. I think the juiciest part to me is the whole inside job concept.
Yeah.
Because if it was like, oh, Russia did it, okay, cool, it makes sense. It's in their best interest. But it's like when we do it on ourselves, I'm like, this is fucking crazy.
There's a, you know that special ops podcast guy, the bald head guy? He always has all these military guys.
like
on.
Sean Ryan.
Sean Ryan.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch this, but recently, the title says a secret group of spies that control the world.
Wow.
And I know that this is a conspiracy theory. I can't wait to watch this episode. But the conspiracy about that is there is a rogue group of CIA, Mossad. What's the British one?
MI5. MI6.
And they created a secret organization that are the leading members of spies of every single country, and they have their own little shadow government, and they run the world.
Holy shit.
Like the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, but like it's kind of like, so you know how Epstein, right? Yeah. They're saying Epstein was controlled by Ghislaine's father,
Mossad.
because he
Mossad.
was a multi-agent. He was a KGB, Mossad, agent.
Yeah.
And so they're like, there's this whole network, And that exposed like the door to that world.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, that's fucking.
And now that we know the model, it's always fascinating to me. Now that we know that model
Yeah.
from the Epstein stuff, that we're seeing what's happening to Diddy right now, and I'm
Yeah.
like, they just keep doing this shit.
Yep, you gotta just pull the thread out to see where it really goes. Where does
Yeah.
it? How far does it unravel?
And I totally believe that that ring is independent of that other ring. The Diddy ring is like its own ring.
What up, guys? Thank you for watching us for so long. If you like what we do, please support our Patreon. Joe, tell them what we have to offer.
So every week you get 2 videos. One never released director's cut, and another one 2 hot for YouTube, Patreon only. Every freaking week you get that, and you get access to our Discord where you can come chat with us.
And ask us questions that become episodes here because we're gonna answer them and we're gonna take it seriously and we wanna give you the responses that you want. So come stay connected with us, join our Patreon, click the description below for full details.
There's that one in Netflix you told me to watch.
Oh, that's the best.
That one was good. I
American
watched it.
Conspiracy.
Oh.
Somebody gotta write
So
them down.
it's about another rogue CIA group that also basically, was it the Morongo Indians?
The Cabazons.
Cabazon tribe.
Yeah.
So you know how they have a casino, right? They basically exploited that group to build a front organization so they can build weapons test labs and underground gun running, and also they embezzled the fuck out of the tribe so they can make a lot of money on their own. And it's a splinter group within the CIA, I think. But it's a sick ass documentary.
You'd love it.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. You should watch it. Yeah.
American what?
American Conspiracy.
So it's a splintered group in the CIA.
So they're also a part of the Iran-Contra controversy.
Okay.
So you know how like during that
Swept under the
time
rug,
we
yeah.
had like the drug running
Yep.
CIA
Yep.
with the gun running
Running weapons,
CIA,
yep.
and then these guys were also involved in the gun running side of all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It basically starts because this guy was investigating the murders of these 2 dudes. It was really mysterious. And then he just got too deep that eventually someone was like, yeah, just forget about what you just found out.
Yeah.
And then like another guy took over after him
Yep.
to find out why this guy stopped. So then it just unraveled. The thread just gets.
You know that Bustamante guy, the CIA spy dude that's been going on podcasts.
yeah.
He confirmed like the whole like Iran Contra stuff with the drug running because they were asking. I forgot whose podcast he was on, but they're asking him like why they help bring drugs into America, and he goes, if you're the CIA and you need untraceable dollars and you need dollars that isn't budgeted, he's like, you have to do. He's like, I'm not like justifying it, but he goes, you have to find ways to make money to fund your operations.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the? That's
pretty crazy.
Fuck. And he goes like, it's obviously when you look at it in a way where it's like, what's right or wrong, it looks really bad. But he's like, it's one of those like, you kill 10,000 to save a million type shit. And I'm like, dude, that's fuck.
But is it a conspiracy if we know that they did that? Like,
Yeah, it's not.
but that's what I'm saying. Where it's like we have been so gaslit by our media and shit like that,
Yeah. That if we say it, the person at the park like, you're cuckoo.
right?
Yeah, a factual thing becomes a conspiracy.
Thing. But then, okay, so answer me this then: if we know that they ran guns and sold drugs and they did that, what did they do with the profits? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hire.
Like, what do you think they did it for? By the way, you don't start a business like, oh yeah, I started a business. What are you doing with the money?
Actually,
Yeah, you gotta chase it. What the fuck? Where is it? Some sort of a.
the most feasible, to me at least, the most feasible like shadow government. I don't know if the Illuminati exists, but I do think a CIA actually running America sounds pretty realistic
Sounds
to me.
plausible to me. Yeah.
Because of all the evidence in the past. And I think if you think about, you know about Operation Paperclip? So Operation Paperclip is an actual thing that Americans thought about after they took down the Nazis during World War II. The idea was, let's give refuge to all the smartest, brightest scientists, espionage experts, leaders of the Gestapo, all that shit, right? So they just started bringing in and then so they got immunity. All of these Nazis that had war crimes, they got immunity.
Werner von Braun.
Yeah, and they were allowed to become our scientists, high members of the
Head of
CIA.
NASA.
They actually developed the CIA for us. Yeah. And then that's what I'm saying is like we have former Nazis that actually created the CIA.
The founder of NASA was a Nazi.
Yeah.
That was in this program. For Operation Paperclip. Werner von Braun.
Because, well, their mentality was like, if we don't take them, Russia will.
Yeah.
So it was like this whole thing. So when it came down to the war crimes and everything that was going down, it wasn't really, everybody that got justice served.
No.
Yeah.
It's just a big poach fest.
Right.
Who are the most talented people?
It's a recruiting fair.
I'll take you 4 and I'll kill these 5.
But think about it, if you were a Nazi, right, and then you became a high-ranking official in the CIA, and then like America's really not your country. So wouldn't that be believable that that group is not working for the American people, but for their own interests and their own greed and future?
So the current Speaker of the House, his name is Mike Rogers, right? He said before he was Speaker of the House that he would never ever partake in anything that involves spying on Americans or anything like that. And he grandstanded about it for a long time. All of a sudden, he becomes Speaker of the House. They're trying to pass a bill about how the government can start spying on people in this country. He was the deciding vote in favor. Wow. Because they took him into a SCIF, right, which is a private place in Congress where they can share classified intelligence with a member of Congress. He had a conversation with them, and these are his words. He's like, after talking to them in the SCIF, I realized that this was a priority for national security, and I had to vote this way. Wow. So he goes from talking shit all over it and like having it part of his identity to like, I'm going with the intelligence community action.
Did a 180.
Might be.
I wonder,
And it's for your own good.
but I wonder what they have on this on the people they want to flip. So
Well, the joke is the angle of the JFK assassination that nobody's seen before, right? That's the joke.
Yeah.
But maybe it's also just a true joke that's just true.
American conspiracy goes into that too.
Yeah. Is
it?
The angle thing, yeah.
they show them they doctor the footage.
Well, dude, the magic bullet theory is total bullshit. I can't believe it's accepted. Like, oh, it's so accepted.
What's the
Ricochet-
magic? What's the
ricochet?
magic?
The ricochet, yeah. The bullet ricocheted between Kennedy and the governor of, I can't remember.
No, they said that the original footage that they show people is that a guy just is in the car and he shoots him like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was at their museum. I went to Dallas. I was actually at the museum, yeah.
And they say the one that everyone got, the footage, it was all doctored. Like it was all edited.
I went to a dinosaur museum a couple years ago.
Smithsonian?
Wow.
Thanks.
Natural
Thank you.
Yeah, they say that the real footage is the guy in the front turns around and shoots. Which is like, I don't know, but that sounds crazy.
That footage is insane.
The Zapruder film?
What's that?
The Zapruder film of JFK.
Just getting his head blown off and then Jackie trying to put it together, bro. You're just like,
Oh, dude, it's really sad, yeah.
But if you think about like, okay, if you're CIA, right, would you let a bunch of fucking dumbass politicians ruin your plans by just telling
they're not
America-
playing ball with you.
Like, wouldn't if I could think about, well, if the politician I want to control them, then I'll bring them in the room and say, here's your family. I'm sure you love your family. This is what I'm gonna do to them, and then go, okay, you work with us. Like, if I can do that, how come the CIA can't?
Well, how about this too? The CIA, one of their duties is to overthrow foreign governments, to replace them with people who are in our favor.
Yeah.
They never had the thought to do it to our own government.
I know,
They never,
right?
we draw the line there.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Especially when their existence hangs in the balance
Yeah.
of that government.
Well, and that's what Kennedy wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that's what his nephew just recently was talking about. How,
Oh no, don't do your specialty on me.
Yeah. Don't use your special move.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to
Because they're good, honorable Americans. They would never do it to its own people.
yeah, Kennedy said before he died he wanted to dismantle the CIA and scatter it into the winds.
Oh, how convenient.
Why
He wanted to dismantle the CIA.
Why did he want to do that though?
Because he was pissed at them because of the Bay of Pigs. Bay of Pigs, they basically did this attack on Cuba, right? They sent a bunch of Marines, right? And then they said, hey, we need air support. And he said, I told you I'm not giving you air support. I told you I'm not giving you.
Oh, wait, guess what? George Bush Sr. was a director of the CIA. Somehow he becomes president, and then we have the first Gulf War? What? No way!
Shocking.
Crazy!
To stop a despot, though, Joe. They're stopping a despot.
Maybe they're all in cahoots, and it's called the military-industrial complex.
We're out of time.
we gotta end this.
So
We're out of time.
we just made a gang.
I've been told we're out of time.